Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Cousins gives way to Cook. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Cook. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That really sets them back, a loss of 6.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 37. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get this down only to the 18. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Redskins' 7-yard line.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a 3rd and goal. Cousins to throw it. The quick slant caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 4 yards out, and the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! At their own 20-yard line.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at the 20.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4.
Now Haskins on 1st down. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
And the Redskins first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
You ain't doing nothing.
Now Haskins. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. Here we go on 4th down. Haskins. And it is incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. In on the stop, the safety, Troy Apke.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
To throw his Cousins. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
We play to win. Let's go.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it into play before with a smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And that has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Uncorks one for Davis. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
Let's go, baby.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
You can't block me. You can't block me. 54.
Now it's Haskins. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. 2nd down, Haskins. Able to find his running back, Geis. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Check 55, Mike. Stop your whining. Watch the safety creep. Watch twist.
Haskins on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And Hopkins' kick is good. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Final play of the half. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never wanted to make something more important than it actually.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, 74 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
From the gun, it's Haskins. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, they tried to get two and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. On fourth down, they do snap it to Cousins. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm scared.
Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. He's got his running back, Darius Geis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Haskins. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Redskins have taken the lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now, 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically, they got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
Yeah, my bad.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the road is my home and there's so many milkers burning my dome like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm sturdy as hell, it's a vessel alone. They showing me. Determination, laser focus, banging.
49ers are now on the clock.
I ain't changing my side. Yeah, we in it for life. And I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in
The Steelers are now on the clock.
Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, it's crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, and look like I'm
The Bears are now on the clock.
Driving fast, I never done this before. Get on out my problems, let me. When I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like
The Redskins are now on the clock.
I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock.
You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you're trying to go.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Rolling up, I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it.
Back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad.
The Lions are now on the clock.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it
The
down,
Seahawks are now on the clock.
on the wheel. I'm closing the top of the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own
The Titans are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you're tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains,
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. And we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. And I'm training, I've been focused, I've been... Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me, I am up. #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Bags while they chasing us, calling audible. I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz. Yeah, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. Show them skills. Yeah, how about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, start the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? Rep for your bro, for your post, your poppin', your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Hey, look how far we coming. Heartbeat on the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend, sweet. This sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn it out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal.
The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Yeah, so suspenseful. I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead. It's to get rich or dead trying. This ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make your next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma
The Lions are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get the off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my pants are off. Everything
The Colts are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock.
I don't wear ball mains. All I ever do is ball main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm sending yell nets. Every flow is unmatched, and I better get set in. Finish them. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum all. In the end result, I better kill them all. Rogue one, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a team with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Different cities every week now. Every woman is a now. What state prop you looking bleak now? I was home to sleep designer sheets now. 30 different missions. When I speak they listen. Couldn't find the social fishing. Who the crew, it wasn't you. I know it's true cause you look like the opposition. Run it up. Greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda made my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Got more bars than a Shawshank.
The Jets are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock.
I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my hell. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my hell. Then I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I step like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian. Blame that on Gino. Smells like the
Bears are now on the clock.
I don't kiss and tell.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
With the snails in a 5-star hotel, and I wish he well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by themselves.
That's why you treat my men good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
Check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my hell. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my hell. Then fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray. Make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
What is wrong? You like make a joke. Everybody let it.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself.
The Steelers are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock.
No, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Love's my dog, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Love's my dog, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
The Titans are now on the clock.
This ain't nothing for the pack. 16 sitting in the leg. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single
The Steelers are now on the clock.
Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me. No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Love's my dog, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
The Browns are now on the clock.
No, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Love's my dog, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
The Browns are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
I get the money, but I never switch. They say you switch, you won't get it. You know they kept in the bottom.
The Steelers are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock.
Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out the back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Crush.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Yeah.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Hold on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with
The Jets are now on the clock.
30,000 in the pocket, no change.
The 49ers are now on the clock.
This is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age.
The Chargers are now on the clock.
Right pocket got euros, left pocket got
The Bears are now on the clock.
Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a matching. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but
The Seahawks are now on the clock.
all my girls, they love and hate me
The Browns are now on the clock.
When I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
STRO. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play.
The Raiders are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock.
Yeah, I can't spend a day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean.
The Saints are now on the clock.
Everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do, lace up the shoes.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do, lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do, lace up my shoes, chase W's.
The Seahawks are now on the clock.
I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like
the Titans are now on the clock.
Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit your team. Shouldn't even
the Vikings are now on the clock.
When you grow up, they used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do, lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do, lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do, lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock.
Going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Hey, I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click.
The Falcons are now on the clock.
They know the shit, they was hating, know they sick. Acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick. Acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a faucet. Took over the
The Falcons are now on the clock.
Down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the gang, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know
the Chiefs are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass back.
The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock.
Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bag. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat it. Ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. But
the Texans are now on the clock.
Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. I'm in my new bag, my bag. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock.
Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit on my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board.
The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock.
30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
The Jets are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me.
The Chargers are now on the clock.
They do what they Got it on.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
I will not crash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition.
The Browns are now on the clock.
I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on. Smash, foot on
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Crash.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Copy, end zone, watch me, celebrate, I'm cocky, I do my dance.
The Saints are now on the clock.
No man, oh, deal with the hands, thought he could guard me.
The Packers are now on the clock.
I do what I want, they do what they.
The Redskins are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock.
I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash.
The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock.
Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want
The Texans are now on the clock.
Frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. Dolphins are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
The Jets are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement, people want to know.
The Chargers are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock.
Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
When we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind.
The Browns are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock.
When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk.
The Saints are now on the clock.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all beat the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind.
The Packers are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock.
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all beat the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rocket
The Titans are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Hey, how it feel to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
Fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I
The
touch
Falcons
down,
are now on the clock.
Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and
The Steelers are now on the clock.
how it feel to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How it feel to be the boss, let me find out.
The
My team
Vikings
ballin',
are
you
now
look
on the
like you
clock.
need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to a
city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Why I never saw you in the field, though?
The Lions are now on the clock.
I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How it feel to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star.
The Giants are now on the clock.
Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong.
The Colts are now on the clock.
Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How it feel to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon.
The Texans are now on the clock.
Rick Rock. Tick-tock. West hip-hop. Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen.
Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
And tell your daddy and tell the whole
The Bengals are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock.
But you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. I get it.
The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock.
If you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm
The Panthers are now on the clock.
all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. Now get it.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Big Snoop Dogg.
The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock.
It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young,
incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my
The Packers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock.
Give me that work and I can
The
sell it,
Seahawks are now on the clock.
Put it on the line like I ain't
The
selfish,
Titans are now on the clock.
if I let you
The
tell it.
Steelers are now on the
My heart
clock.
and soul in, so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper.
The
in
Jaguars are now on the clock.
Currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within. I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing.
The Redskins are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock.
The young, incredible,
The Falcons are now on the clock.
You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the world is my home and there's so many milkers burning my dome like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm
The Steelers are now on the clock.
They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
The stereotypes, they do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hop with a squad. I'm playing my part, but them LeBron.